Hi, my name is Tim. I'm an instructor at CDLC. I think we have one of the best schools out here. If you haven't looked into a school yet, you really owe it to yourself. Our phone number is 330-785-9909. You can talk to a gentleman. His name is Don. He'd be more than glad to talk to you and give you a little bit of information. So like I said, if you haven't looked into schools yet or you're looking into schools, make sure you give us a call. We're located here at 1350 Kelly Avenue, and that's in Akron, Ohio. Today I'm going to go ahead and do a pre-trip for you guys to let you guys really understand the importance of how that pre-trip is done. And that way you guys can follow along and really understand it, okay? I'm going to do it kind of fast, but this is what's expected of you guys down at the test site. I'm going to come up here to the front of the cab, and that's where it begins. Key is in my pocket. Tractor level, there's no obvious suspension tire problems. Trailer level, no obvious suspension tire problems or cargo shifting. Marker lights, clean, correct color, not cracked, they must operate. Windshield clean, clear, not cracked. Windshield wiper blades, no cuts or frays, tension of the windshield wiper arms, got proper tension. Show signals, clean, correct color, not cracked, they must operate. Headlights, clean, clear, not cracked, must operate on high and low beam. Bumper tightly bolted, no apparent damage, and under the tractor, no puddles indicating leaks. Alternator tightly bolted. Alternator mounting bracket tightly bolted, missing bolts are cracked or broken. Alternator belt, no cuts, cracks, sprays, no more than 3/4 inches of play. Water pump tightly bolted, missing bolts, it's not leaking. Water pump hose, no cuts, cracks, sprays, not leaking. Water pump belt, no cuts, cracks, or sprays, no more than 3/4 inches of play. Cooler reservoir tightly bolted, missing bolts, not leaking. Full on sight glass. Air compressor tightly bolted, missing bolts, and it's not leaking. It's gear driven. Alternator air lines, no cuts, cracks, sprays, are not leaking. Power steering pump tightly bolted, missing bolts, and it's not leaking. It's gear driven. Power steering pump hoses, no cuts, cracks, sprays, it's not leaking. Engine oil, full on dipstick. Power steering reservoir tightly bolted, missing bolts, it's not leaking. Full on dipstick. Steering column, no apparent damage. Gearbox tightly bolted, missing bolts, it's not leaking. Shock tightly bolted on both ends, not leaking. Spring mount tightly bolted, missing bolts, not cracked or broken. Leaf springs uncracked, broken, or missing. U-bolts tightly bolted, missing nuts. Steering linkage, castle nut tight, cotter pin in place, no excessive play. Brake hose, no cuts, cracks, sprays, it's not leaking. Brake chamber ring, tightly bolted, missing bolts, it's not leaking. Slack adjust securely fast, the brake chamber push rod, no more than 1 inch play, wheel shock brakes released. Brake drum, not cracked or broken, no oil or grease. Brake lining, no cracked, broken, or missing, no less than 1/4 inch thick. Tire evenly worn, no less than 4/32 on tread depth. They can be or cannot be recapped. Sidewalls are free of abrasion, bulges, cuts, proper air pressure check with an air gauge or a mallet. Bud rim, no dents or cracks, no legal bolts. Looking at tightly bolted, under missing shiny metal, less than the gate loosening. Hub seal tightly bolted, missing its bolts, and it's not leaking. I pull the plug, check the oil level. Valve stem steel on steel, straight cap, not leaking. Mirrors tightly bolted, no apparent damage. Door latch and hinges working properly. Steps can't walk, no apparent damage. Lights and reflectors, clean for color, not cracked, they must operate. My airlines, no cuts, cracks, sprays, and they're not leaking. My electric cord, no cuts or frays, no abrasions, properly plugged in. My exhaust tightly bolted, no apparent damage. Not leaking, so it would indicate a leak. My drive shaft tightly bolted on both ends, no apparent damage. My frame, no drilled holes, no illegal welds. My fuel tank tightly bolted to the frame, no missing nuts or bolts. It's got metal straps for rubber underneath. Fuel tank's not leaking, caps on tight, it's not leaking. Spring mount tightly bolted, missing nuts or bolts, not cracked or broken. Leaf springs, don't crack, broken, or missing. U-bolts tightly bolted, missing nuts. Brake torque spring, not bent, bushing in place. Brake hoses, no cuts, cracks, sprays, they're not leaking. Brake chamber ring, tightly bolted, missing nuts or bolts, and it's not leaking. Slack adjuster, securely fast the brake chamber push rod, no more than 1 inch play, wheel stock brakes released. Brake drum, not cracked or broken, no oil or grease. Brake lining, no crack, broken, or missing, no less than 1/4 inch thick. Tires evenly spaced, evenly matched, evenly worn, free of obstruction, no less than 2/32 on tread depth. They can be recapped. Sidewalls are free of abrasion, bulges, cuts. Proper air pressure check with an air gauge or a mallet. Bud rim, no dents or cracks, no illegal welds. Lug nuts tightly bolted under missing shiny metal, rust with the gate loosening. Axle seal tightly bolted, missing its bolts, and it's not leaking. Valve stem steel on steel, straight cap not leaking. Stationary fifth wheel tightly bolted, missing its bolts, are cracked or broken. Platform not cracked, broken, or cracked, broken, no apparent damage. Apron uncracked, broken, or bent. Skid plate, no air gap between the apron and the skid plate. Release arm in the lock position. Locking jaws, screw locked around the shank of the kingpin not bent. Lights and reflectors, clean, correct color, not cracked, they must operate. Mud flap that would be hanging here, tightly bolted, missing nuts or bolts, no more than 4 to 6 inches off the ground. Front of the trailer, lights and reflectors, clean, correct color, not cracked, they must operate. Header board, no apparent damage. Electric cord properly plugged in. Glad hands, they're securely mounted, they're not leaking. Side of the trailer, there's no apparent damage. Lights and reflectors, clean, correct color, not cracked, they must operate. Trailer frame, not cracked, broken, or bent. The floor, there's no holes, no apparent damage. Cross springs, not cracked, broken, or missing. Landing gear, tightly bolted, no missing nuts or bolts. Must go fully up and down, must be in the full upright position with the crank handle in the lock position. Sliding tandem, it's securely fastened to the trailer frame. Pin is in place, release arm in lock position. Spring mount, tightly bolted, missing nuts or bolts, not cracked or broken. Leaf springs, not cracked, broken, or missing. Torque arm, not bent, bushing in place. Brake hoses, no cuts, cracks, sprays, are not leaking. Brake chamber rig, tightly bolted, missing nuts or bolts, and it's not leaking. Slack adjuster, securely fastened to the brake chamber push rod, no more than 1 inch blade, wheels, chock, clutch released. Brake drum, not cracked or broken, or oil or grease. Brake lining, not cracked, broken, or missing, no less than 1/4 inch thick. Tires, they're evenly spaced, evenly matched, evenly worn. Free of obstruction, no less than 2/32 on tread depth. They can be recapped. Sidewalls are free from abrasion, bulges, cuts. Proper air pressure, I'll check with an air gauge or a mallet. This is a Dayton rim, no dents, no cracks, no illegal welds. Lug nuts, or spacer rings, not cracked or broken, it's in place. Lug nuts tightly bolted, under missing. Shiny metal or rust to indicate loosening. Hub seal, tightly bolted, missing nuts or bolts, and it's not leaking. I can pull the rubber plug, check the oil level. Valve stem, steel on steel, straight cap, not leaking. I would do this axle the same as I did this axle. Mud flap, tightly bolted, missing nuts or bolts, and more than 4 to 6 inches off the ground. Coming to the back of the trailer. Got barn doors, there's no apparent damage to them. Lights and reflectors are clean, clear color, not cracked, they must operate. My door latch and hinges are tightly bolted and they're working properly. My handle's in the lock position. Door ties. Tightly bolted, missing nuts or bolts, there's no apparent damage. ICC bar, tightly bolted, missing nuts or bolts, no apparent damage. I would do this side the same as I did that side. Now we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the in-cab inspection. Fire extinguisher. It's securely mounted, it's fully charged, pin in place. 3 reflective triangles are securely mounted. I got 3 spare fuses that this tractor takes. My seat belt is tightly bolted, there's no cuts or frays, and it must latch. My mirrors are clean, correct color, not cracked, and they're adjusted to me. My windshield is clean, it's clear, it's not cracked. It's free of debris. Now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to fire up the truck. First off, it's in neutral. My oil pressure, it's rising to normal. My water temperature, it's rising to normal. My voltmeter, it's rising to normal. My air pressure, it's rising to normal. My windshield wipers are working properly. Washer fluid have to work properly. My defroster, it's working properly. And my heater is working properly. My steering wheel, no more than 10 degrees or approximately 2 inches of play on a 20-inch wheel. City horn working properly. If I had a country horn, I'd tune it, it's working properly. My left turn signal indicator light working properly. My right turn signal indicator light working properly. My 4-way indicator lights are working properly. My high beam indicator light is working properly. Now I'm pushing my yellow valve. My trailer brakes are working properly. My tractor brakes are working properly. My service brake is working properly. Alright, after initial air loss, I should lose no more than 3 psi in 1 minute. After initial air loss, I should lose no more than 4 psi in 1 minute. I'm going to pump the brakes, and between 60 and 75 psi, my low air warning light and buzzer will come on. Now I'm going to continue to pump the brakes, and between 20 and 45 psi, my red and yellow valve will pop out. That completes the in-cab inspection. I'd ask him to help me check my lights. I did this pre-trip pretty quick. I'm going to also release a video where I go much slower and give you guys every tips and tricks that I've got and how easy it is to do. Pre-trip, you know, it's the most important thing that you guys are going to do when you guys get down there. I can teach you how to drive a truck. I can teach you how to maneuver that truck. One thing, though, that you guys really got to put your time into is understand the importance and knowing that pre-trip. Down there, you're not allowed to use any papers. It's all got to be up here. I really feel that I know it real well, and, you know, I will gladly give you guys that information, and I will go a lot slower point and touch parts, because down there you do have to point and touch a part, and I'll go over those in a lot slower on the video that I'm going to release. If you have any questions and you want to email me, you can email me at cdlinstructor1@yahoo.com. Thank you guys, and good luck.